DC. And as you can see, we really are in DC. There's all the stuff. But you're not going to believe who's here with me. It is the one and only Noelle. Noelle.ai, right? Is that
Yes,
right?
Noelle.ai.
And
Hello,
you,
everyone.
so we go way back through a couple of companies now.
Yes.
And she spoke today on ethical AI. And
Yes, responsible AI as
responsible AI.
well. Yes, how to build inclusive engineering teams and multimodal experiences to save the world.
There you go. So it's pretty cool. So I see you got the 10X sticker there.
Yes, I'm
Go
all
Grant
about
Cardone.
that's right. 10x everything.
Andy will be very happy to see that. So what this is the first Dev Nation I've been to. You also have been in the Microsoft ecosystem.
Yeah.
This is kind of new to me. It's been a very transformative week because not only did we sell our old house yesterday, finally, I've also transitioned to the Macintosh, and I attended an AWS community day last week.
Amazing. Who are you?
Like, who am I? Like, yeah, it's like, what? So
yeah, I love this conference. It's like a boutique conference, right? Where super fancy place, like a lot of the intimacy that comes with these smaller conferences. One of the things is conferences used to be much bigger, but because of the pandemic, right, we're doing things, we're starting over. But I love it because we actually get to meet everyone, right? There's about 100 people here. We have breakout sessions. People got to do labs, super exciting stuff. And we went from what I talked about, inclusive tech, all the way through, your area of specialty and talking about quantum computing, all the way to, building data science in containers at the edge. So we ran the whole gambit, and everyone here was like at the edge of their seat. So it's pretty exciting.
It was pretty cool, and I was most excited because I followed most of the quantum part. Oh, I understood that. Yeah. And like, it's not because I'm. The one. Well, yeah, I was that guy. Oh, it's Victoria. Hey, Victoria. Victoria is awesome. Hope things are well. It's funny. She messaged me on GChat while I was driving here. And she's like, "Oh, sorry to wake you up so early. It was kind of early, but I had been up since like 3:30 this morning. So I'm running. This is just pure caffeine and adrenaline this morning. So, but yeah, no, it was a great conference, and what was interesting to me was quantum computing is still largely theoretical, right? It's not really. You're not any day now. It's not at the point where a recruiter's going to say, "Do you have 20 years of experience with Q Pound, right? Or Whiskey, or whatever."
Right.
Anyway, the IBM guy even mispronounced it.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yeah. But that's just it. It's so brand new. Right. The cool thing was, like you were saying, we now were able to actually start to see real applications. Right. In IDE, where I can watch the value of being able to fold proteins in real time and watch how fast that is compared to how I used to do it on a computer. Right. So,
well, and just think of right? And just think about how that's going to transform medicine. Like, it was so cool.
Exactly. Medicine. I mean, we were thinking about sports medicine, like all sorts of things that take vaccines.
Yep.
Many of us don't even realize what went into actually building a vaccine as fast as we did.
Right.
But a lot of it is powered by this type of computing, like the ability to just fold time on top of it.
Right.
Through this type of technology. So it's really fascinating. I think more people need to understand it in order for us to really make use of it.
Right. And it was cool to see the DevOps story. Like, somebody's already thinking about the DevOps problem for quantum coding.
Yeah, I was like, man, it took us years to figure out AI ops and ML ops for AI, and now quantum hasn't even released as a developer platform. Right. And we're already like, okay, how are we going to get this up into production?
Right.
I think one of the best things that I learned was that really this quantum chip is just going to be an accelerator like a GPU, right? Or an FPGA or whatever. But it's not much different. Like that analogy really sunk in for me, like, oh, I'm just going to have certain workloads, certain mathematical workloads that I'm going to want to offload to a quantum chip. And so being able to simulate that in the developer environment, that was my favorite part.
That's cool. Yeah, what's interesting, quantum computers are actually not good at a lot of things.
Right.
But the things that they are good at is the things that conventional computers are horrible at.
Right, exactly.
So it actually works out pretty well.
Yeah. Especially when you can augment existing hardware.
Yes.
Right? And then programmatically with Python, segment your workflow. I mean, it's exactly what we did with GPUs.
Exactly.
Right? And so now we're just seeing accelerated to the nth percent.
It's cool to see, like, innovation stack upon innovation.
Yeah, in our lifetime, multiple times over.
Right. In a decade.
In a decade. Exactly.
I mean, it was cool. Like I was looking at the agenda, I was like, are they really going to talk about quantum computing at a Red Hat event? This I got to see. Yeah, because I mean, obviously IBM is the parent company, and they are very well ahead of the curve in quantum, but it's not your average.
Yeah, and certainly federal, right?
Right.
Thinking about federal, how are we going to use this in a federal space?
Right.
But they did a really great job. I think the first step is understanding it, right? Being able to then picture and visualize what use cases it could be good in. So they did a great job today, but it was just a wide range of topics that we covered that made it really worth it.
And it's cool to see you again in person. It's been too long, and it's just nice to be back. If you look at there's an honest to goodness crowd here. Largest event I've been in since the plague.
Yeah.
In person, it is nice to have that in person touch.
Absolutely.
Which, you know, I mean, there are certain advantages of going online because you can travel around the world, but there's nothing like that in person.
No, and being able to just hang out, share stories, war stories, things you never really get on virtual, right? You don't get a chance to shoot the breeze or play cornhole.
Right, yeah, they have a cornhole thing. That's not a random example. There was actually a real thing. Well, and also explain why Brene Brown turns her stomach down.
Right.
Right, which is not something we want to talk about in the public.
We love you, Brene.
We love you. We love you, Brene. We love you.
But yeah, so cool. And it's amazing how small the world is, right?
Yeah.
Like so many of us have met, and many of us work in different companies now, but all of us have worked at Microsoft or at Amazon, or we had someone representing SageMaker here, we had someone representing Lumen, and just so many different generations of developers and now leaders that we've known for years. So it's almost like a coming home. It's like
right. It's kind of like a mishmash of like remixing the same thing. Coming home. I like that analogy. And Victoria says hello and awesome. Yeah. You have a great day. I got to get going. I got to beat the Beltway traffic back. You got in like on a early plane, a late plane.
Yes.
So
running on fumes, but it's been awesome. I'm so glad to see you all.
Awesome.